little update on what's going around at the garage. Haven't been able to work on a ton of stuff because I've been busy working on other stuff. This Beetle is still here. It's pushed outside. This car is still here. I don't know what I did last time, but the front's all cut apart. So that's all ready to get scrapped. That I gotta finish chopping up. This part is sold. Just waiting for it to get picked up. Decided we're gonna sell the Mercedes. She's getting listed soon. I was gonna list it today, but I ran out of time. This is the other Beetle to go with that one. So this Beetle, sadly, you can't really see it, but it's a rusted out piece of junk. It's full of mold. It was stored in the barn, but it has 13,000 original miles on it. So it has the original motor, original transmission, original axles in it, you know. But you can't really see, unfortunately. Let's do that. So it's got 13,000 original miles on it, but it was kept in a barn, so it's just the rustiest piece of garbage. But so we're gonna pull it for the dash, the wiring, the radio, and all that. Got this motor pulled out of the dump truck. And the new engine in. Only problem is, so I had to go buy a clutch alignment tool. It was wrong, so we wrapped it up in tape to make it work. It worked great. The only problem is the carburetor I rebuilt for this engine does not fit on the intake manifold. So I pulled the manifolds off of that, which unfortunately, this motor has cylinder 2 is dead. I'm gonna check and see what the issue is. I'm gonna pull the oil pan, pull the piston out, and we're gonna, if the cylinder's scored, we're gonna scrap the engine, or we'll sell it for $50. Someone can use it for odds and ends, whatever. I'd rather it get used than just get scrapped. But if the cylinder walls are good and it's like, it's just broken rings, this is a rebuilt long block, so maybe someone did something wrong. They lined up the rings, and if the cylinder by some miracle is not scored, or they just didn't put push rods in, or the push rods are bent or something like that, it's like the valves weren't opening and it was just burning a crap ton of oil for whatever reason. It's probably rings. Block's probably shot, but it's worth it for me to check it. And if the block is good, I have a good block for the F-250 then. We'll see. But right now my goal is to get this thing running this week. I gotta go look at a tractor for a buddy tomorrow, or with a buddy tomorrow, that he wants to buy to mow his property. Tuesday I gotta look at a new tractor for the farm, for mowing the prairie, that we're restoring. And because the Cub burns oil, it's down on power, it's not worth rebuilding because the cylinders aren't sleeved, the low boy. So I found a Model C Alice Chalmers that has a 72-inch deck, so the deck's a foot wider, and the C's are 20 horse at the PTO-ish, a little bit more than that. And this thing, guy says, runs great, or did 2 years ago when he was using it to mow his property. He just let it sit because he bought a new tractor. I wonder why he bought a new tractor. Maybe he bought a new tractor because this one took a crap. So I'm going to take some starting fluid, get it to run off starting fluid so I can hear if it has a knock or anything. I'll bring the jump pack too. I believe it's converted to 12 volt. Both of these tractors are converted to 12 volts, so I can bring my 12 volt jump back and just see if we can get the fire over. Excuse me. But yeah, everything's transferred over. Distributor's in the right spot, so we have the points. fuel pumps moved over. I was moving the carburetor. This thing was going to run tonight, but I didn't check the intake manifolds like I should have. Studs are wider on this intake manifold than they are on the other one because the carburetor is bigger. So we're going to pull the manifolds off of this. But it's a good thing I did pull the manifolds, because I was looking and I was like, I have a really bad exhaust leak. Well, on the other engine, I had a really bad exhaust leak, and I thought it was just blown gaskets. Also, this intake manifold, it looks a lot worse. I'm not sure what the deal is with it, and who knows, maybe I should just rebuild the carburetor that was on here real quick, but I think it's an electric choke and all that, and it's not for this engine setup. But we'll see. Maybe I'll just throw it on here quick and see what happens. Anyways, I think it's a YF that was on here. And I don't know. I didn't pay attention. I don't remember what carburetor came off of it. I didn't care to look. But if we look, the manifolds that were on this tractor, or on this engine, I was like, man, why is I got a really bad exhaust leak? Sounds like the manifold's blowing, or sounds like the gasket's blowing out. I started looking at it. Got the manifold pulled because I was ready to just switch them. So I'm actually probably going to have to use the intake manifold off of this, the original engine, and use the exhaust manifold off the new engine. Because look at that hole. I didn't see it when I had it all put together. But yeah, there's that. This thing is beat. There's that. Studs all rotted out, you know. Nice thing about this manifold, though. Oh, never mind. This manifold's garbage. This is not a good manifold. Whatever, we don't want it. Sad thing is this truck does not have the original exhaust manifold, because that would have been the Ford heavy-duty manifold with a 2.5-inch straight out the bottom. I bought the truck with the light-duty pickup, or the light-duty truck, so F350 and lower. Manifold on it, which is unfortunate. So we're probably going to rob this intake manifold. This intake manifold, it's really good, and it's for that carburetor. It's the same size throat. It's just a different. The studs are a little closer. This is the carburetor that was on the truck. When I bought it, I rebuilt this one. Who built this one? This is an Autolite 1100 that was on the truck, which I like. It's a good carburetor. There's some home done stuff on it. We may not put it on. We'll see. But yeah, Autolite 1100, good carburetor. And then the carburetor that was on the new engine, which now that I'm thinking about it, might just be worth it for me to use, is the Carter YF, I think. Yeah. This is a YF. Maybe I should just get a rebuild kit for this thing and run it. My concern would be running the oil bath air cleaner. I'd rather run that for this truck because it's free to service that, and it's be a lot nicer. I prefer the oil bath for dusty conditions. But this Autolite 1100 has seen better days. And I've got rebuild kits for this thing on the shelf. That's why I didn't have to worry about it. I could just slap this on there. I've got some speed parts, but they're going for this truck, you know. Whenever this truck gets done in the next decade, we'll see. I don't know. Maybe. No, hot air choke. Yeah, we'll see. I don't really like the YF carburetor. It's about a horse apiece with these. This isn't a Load-O-Matic with the spark thing on the side. The Spark-O-Matic, whatever they freaking call it. Yeah. Oh, we'll see. I don't know. This carburetor might be decent. Might be decent enough to use. I might just have to play around with some linkages. Probably. Just needs a good pressure washing and some gaskets. And then I don't know. The YF is good. The YF got me here. Or the Autolite 1100's good, and it got me here. But maybe that goes on the shelf. Maybe save it for a rainy day. Maybe eventually I put it on the shelf, maybe just to get it running. Toss this cart around there. Oh, we'll see. I bet you it would fire up, you know? I bet you it would fire up because it's a single barrel carburetor. You know? Just degrease the outside. Get a new gasket for it, because that's obviously garbage. As you can see. Yeah, I mean, all you need is a hole. The meter's air. I'd probably do it. Soak this down in some degreaser and pressure wash it. Get her pretty. Then pop her open. See what happens. It's got the Motorcraft tag on it, so we know it's good. We know it's decent. Yeah, shut up. All these freaking bugs in the garage. Irritating. So yeah, maybe we just, I don't know, manual choke is sort of important on this truck. I don't know where the hot air choke provision is for, so I guess I shouldn't say it is important. I could just leave it unhooked for now and just run a new, but then I gotta make a choke tube, which isn't the end of the world. Just has to be right. Let's just see if I got the oil bath air cleaner floating around in here. We should see if it will, what the holes are like on the bottom. I wonder if that'll fit on the YF. Hold on, I'm going to set the phone down for a second. Take the top off. Oh, yeah. Another reason why I like the oil bath air cleaner. Where's my drip tray? Oh, I guess we can just set this on the garbage for now. That'll work. Oh. Yeah, she does not fit. Large sad. Well, it answers my question because I want to run the oil bath because this thing gets so full of garbage and it does such a good job. No matter what anybody says, oil bath air cleaners are good in certain applications. And those applications will be the applications this truck is operating in. So, just needs a good clean with kerosene. So, that answers my question. Carter YF will be put on the side. The Autolite 1100 will power the dump truck for the time being. So yeah, gonna get those manifolds pulled. I'm gonna separate these two tonight. And that can go in the scrap bin. That's a big piece of garbage. Yeah, so we'll do that. Get the manifolds flipped around so we can get that carburetor on there. That'll be nice. I got a gasket set. I got like 4 gasket sets for the intakes on these things. Floating around somewhere. I gotta find them for tomorrow. Yeah, that's about it. That's all that's going on. Mower runs good. Oh, and on Wednesday, we got a head gasket coming for that 16-horse Simplicity. I did everything. It was running great. I just made a head gasket to make it run. And then, but when I actually started mowing and he got to some thick grass, it blew out, which making a head gasket out of paper, that's what's going to happen. So we got the correct head gasket coming. And I'll get here Wednesday. That can get installed. Then that thing should run good. But this B model Alice is that we're going to look at tomorrow night is for the same guy. He's got about an acre. He's got a mow, and he's buying it and enjoying it with his brother-in-law. Because his brother-in-law sort of wants a tractor, but doesn't really need it right now. But his kid's into tractors, and he wants to ride around on a tractor with his kid, and that's all very fine and dandy. It's important. And the guy with the lot needs it because he went from taking 3 hours to mow his lot to taking 50 minutes on that 60-inch deck on the Cub. And if you get a B Alice with double the horsepower of a good running Cub lowboy, you're gonna be able to, mow it probably in 45 minutes, 40 minutes. And I know his wife likes tractors and all that, and that's the way everybody is kept in budget, and everybody gets what they want. I just have to make sure that it's a good tractor and not a lemon. And he's going to keep the Simplicity if it runs good, which I don't know why it wouldn't. Once we put a head gasket on there, it should run fantastic because he's got some smaller areas in between some trees that he's got to mow. That way the Simplicity doesn't get beat to crap. Not that it would get beat to crap, but that way it doesn't wear out on him sooner than he would like it to. Yeah. Just got to take a look at the blades on this Alice Chalmers. Probably going to need blades. Both of them I'm going to look at. I'm going to anticipate that the decks need blades and bearings. Blades, belts, bearings, and the decks. That's just a safe assumption. As long as the motor's good, as long as the motors don't knock on them, as long as they don't make any weird sounds in gear. There's no hydraulics on any of them, which is nice. They're all mechanical. No, the Model C Alice Chalmers has a hydraulic lift cylinder, but the B has a mechanical foot pedal that raises and lowers the deck or something like that. I don't know, but it's a mechanical lift, not a hydraulic lift tractor. And the B Alice has really wide car tires on the front, which is funny. It's not the skinny track tires, but it's also kind of useful because their lot that he's going to be mowing is part floodplain. I think it's part 500-year floodplain. Some of it's 500-year and some of it's 100-year floodplain. So I'm not... if the ground does get a little wet, the front of the tractor won't sink in so bad because with the wide tires. Yeah, we just got to make sure. No noises in gear, no knocks, and just check for the standard leaks. Rear main, timing cover, shifters, and the pivot points on the for like the clutch and back by the not for the clutch, back by the brakes, and shifter on top. If those tractors sit outside for a long time, those seals dry out really bad, and then they leak tranny fluid really bad, and that's no good. So yeah, look for leaks, squeaks, pops, and bangs, and then assume that the decks need blades, belts, and bearings. And that's about it. Check the points. I know the B is a distributed tractor. I don't know about the C, if it's a magneto or a distributed tractor, and nobody knows if any of them are distillate tractors or not. No, I don't know. I don't know that. I'll have to look at the intake manifolds before I go. Look at the intake manifolds when I get there, I should say, so I'll see what numbers were distillates and all that, and by the design, however you tell. I can't remember exactly how you tell if it's just tractor fuel, kerosene tractor, or a gasoline tractor. We'll figure that out when we get there. Main question is, does it run? That's about all that we care about. Does it start? Does it run? Does it cut grass? On both of them. So yeah, that's about it.